Hello, Dream Theater fans. I thought I'd throw this video together because recently I was able to attend a VIP session held in Las Vegas on February 21st, and I got to meet the legends of prog rock, and I attained some pretty cool items. So I thought I'd share that experience with all of you. As you probably all know, this band just released their newest album, Parasomnia, and I was able to get my limited edition vinyl signed that I actually just did the unboxing for on my channel. I'm going to show that to you today along with my two favorite albums they also signed and a quick overall experience. This first item is probably one of the coolest things I got to do while I was there. So, after a long check-in period and a full-on metal detector scan of my person, I was ushered into the Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan and taken to the second level of the auditorium where I snapped this photo while standing in line to meet the band. It was cool because I was one of the first ones to see the stage that night before the show, and one of my best friends was waiting for me in the casino, so he was, needless to say, a bit jelly when I sent him this photo to his phone. I waited in line for probably about 30 minutes until I finally reached the photo op area, and there's almost like a sense of fantasy or surrealism when you cognitively see the artist that you basically grew up with. I handed my phone to the photographer, and as I walked up for my photo, I simply said, "Gentlemen?" And they smiled back indifferently. Not sure if they were told not to respond, but I wasn't going to be that guy and try to get them to. Overall, I think the picture turned out great other than being a little off center. It was definitely an amazing topic of conversation with all my family and friends, and if you think the picture I sent to my friend before made him jealous, he only responded with, "That's fake!" when I sent him this one. Weirdo, he knew I was back there. The next item I'll show you is the poster that was given to us, which you can see I got framed. It's about 11 by 16 inches, and I love the depictions of different album eras and Easter eggs. A lot of people were getting this thing signed instead of the records, and I'm a little confused as to why, but to each their own, I guess. There is a ton going on here, though. I'll break this down the best I can for you from left to right. Of course, we have the Octavarium album here, the Train of Thought Eye in the Sand over here, and this is from the EP A Change of Seasons. The sign is seen on the Systematic Chaos album right here, and then the unicyclist on top is from a dramatic turn of events when Mangini joined. The huge X's, of course, represent each 10 years that the band has been together. Right in the middle of that, we see the Majesty logo from the self-titled album. And on the very top, I know it's hard to see, but the face from Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory, is up there. And right below, we have the Images and Words heart. Now, the clock, I believe, is from the Awake album because its hands are at 6 o'clock. However, it doesn't have a face on the cover like this one, so yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. This hand is in the sand. It's part of the Distance Over Time album. And the little girl here is from Images and Words, and then the ant has been seen on many albums, but is primarily from Systematic Chaos on the cover, I believe. Now, the face on the X, I believe with the starry eyes, has been seen on the 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence album artwork, and that would make sense because I don't see other references to that here. I had to rack my brain about that yellow cab, but I seem to remember it being on a view from a top of the world inner artwork, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. Of course, the astonishing is in the sky here, and then below that we see Falling into Infinity right here with the dudes and their binoculars. And then right in the middle we have the elephant from Black Clouds and Silver Linings. And then I'm probably missing something, but that's the majority of it. On the back of the poster, it's just touring locations and times along with a photo of the band. So pretty cool little poster here. I failed to mention the skull on the poster on the bottom right side was also from the Distance Over Time album, but just wanted to mention that real quick since I forgot. But our next big item that we got was the 12-inch mid-tom drum head, which is adorned with the Majesty logo with the purple and white mock-up. Most likely that's in homage to Mike Portnoy's drum set colors, because that's what he goes with, is white and purple. I like it, but I didn't necessarily need it. But it's still cool, and it's nice to have as part of the whole package deal. This nifty lanyard was my backstage pass, and I was required to wear it to be in certain designated areas. As you can see, it's decked out with all the Dream Theater advertisements and the cool VIP designation at the bottom. It's really nice to have this one. The black tote bag is a little thin and cheap feeling, but it's still a fun addition to the items that were given to us, and as long as I never use it, it should hold up just fine. When I scoped out the pick tin and opened it up, I was very happy to see various prints on each of the picks. I'm a guitar player also, but I don't think I'll be using the picks because I don't want to rub off the awesome artwork here. So you get 6 total picks, and 2 of them are advertising the 40th anniversary tour, but the others start with images and words seen here. And then there's one that has the Awake artwork. That's really nice one, I like that one. Then we have Metropolis Part 2. And then lastly, we have my personal favorite, Train of Thought. I think I'm going to display these in the record frames I bought, which I'll show you next. So the first album I got signed is, of course, Images and Words, and everything came out great except for Petrucci's signature, which is barely seeable on the left bottom here. I asked him which song he was scared of to play live because he had mentioned one of them was Stream of Consciousness in a video I saw, but his response was, "I'm not scared of any of them." But I said, the video, to which he replied, "Oh, those are just lies." He gave me a good laugh. Everything moves so fast, though, during signings, so I wasn't going to raise a fuss about the signature, but maybe I can get it authenticated and confirmed that his marker did touch the record. Next, I had my favorite album signed, but again, I ran into a little issue here. The issue proved to be an experience, however, so let me explain. When I got to James Labrie, the marker he was using dumped a pool of silver onto my record. The cool part is he caught it immediately and stopped the whole line and waited just so it wouldn't smear and look like Heath Ledger's makeup as the Joker. He actually got up and hand-walked the record to a different location until it was dry and told one of his coordinators not to let anyone touch it. What a good guy, and I'll never forget that. So thanks, James, if you happen to watch this someday. That was so good of you. What a guy. The only other thing is that Petrucci, being the rebel that he is, signed it in gold instead of silver. But again, I'm not going to raise any fuss after James' quick thinking. I was saving the best for last because the new limited to 3,500 copies edition of the Parasomnia album came out perfect with the black ink from everyone who signed it. Not a smudge or a defect whatsoever to offend the eyes. I'm going to fittingly hang this one over my bed proudly and get those butterflies all over again every time I look at it. This made the problematic signings melt away. So that about sums up all the items I got from my 2025 VIP trip in Las Vegas to meet Dream Theater. Thank you so much for joining me and checking this out. It was a real blast. I can't wait to go back and do this again someday. The show was absolutely amazing as well, and I met some great people in line who were true fans and great conversationalists. So I hope to see more shows from different great artists in the future and perhaps document my time with them for all of you to enjoy as well. We'll talk to you then. Cheers.